Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. We're here with another Silksong tier list because I need to milk it for all the content it's worth. And today I'll be ranking every single area in Silksong. And by area, I mean when the big words pop up on the screen. It's not just the areas on the overworld map. Every area that has the big words on the screen with the little symbols around them, I'm counting as its own area. So, that's 36 in total. Starting off, the worst area in the game, coming in at number 36, has got to be the Grand Gate. I mean, what is the point of this area? There's nothing here. It's tiny. It's like basically just like one room, maybe two, I think. And I think the only thing here is like one spool fragment. And that's it. The scales are slightly interesting platforming, but like when they're only in one room, like it's just so there's just no point to this area. They could have just made it part of the coral chambers, and instead of making it its own area, it's just so incredibly useless. Number 35, Biowater. I'm a bit surprised this isn't in straight last place, but yeah, everyone, I don't need to give you an explanation onto why this is down here. Everyone hates this area. You can watch like any other video and they'll tell you exactly why it's bad. I'm too lazy to do that though. Number 34, Putrefied Ducks. The same thing with Biowater. It's just Biowater, but like slightly less annoying. It has a stupid tendril things. It has those tendril things with the on the ceiling that imitate vines and like grab you are used in some kind of unique ways to uncover secrets, which is why it's better than Biowater, but it's still an awful area that I don't like going to. Moss Grotto at number 33. And when I say Moss Grotto, I'm talking about everything below Bone Bottom, like up to the Moss Mother is what I classify Moss Grotto as. Everything after that in the Moss Grotto like area on the map, I'm classifying as Bone Bottom area. Just to clarify this, because they call two different things, but they only have one map. Anyways, it's just boring. I know it's a tutorial area, but it's just boring. It's just kind of green, boring enemies, boring boss. Like, not really much here, except for like some moss berries. So yeah, it's kind of I just think it's boring. Verdania. Not Lost Verdania. Normal Verdania. Just, the empty place with the caves. But it has some cool lore significance and is slightly interesting even though there's nothing there, which is why it's better than Moss Grotto and Biowater and stuff. But at the end of the day, there's nothing really there. So it goes low down on this list. Number 31, the Coral Chambers. So, you get into the Citadel, right? And you're like, oh, this is pretty cool. But like, it just gets so boring so quickly. Like, it's all the rooms look kind of the same, just big halls with this all the Citadel bugs in them, and it's like, along with Biowater, I think it's one of the biggest areas in the game, and it connects to all the other areas in the Citadel, so you're forced to go through it so much. Like I spent so much time in the Coral Chambers, and it just gets kind of boring because you're there so much. So that's why I don't like it. Other people may disagree, but I don't know. I don't really like the Citadel theme. I like the sub areas a lot, but just this is just meh. Bone Bottom comes in at number 30. Now it's similar to Moss Grotto, except also comes with a bit of the marrow on the side, and like it has that big old hole in the middle that leads to like wormways and stuff. And there's also the chapel, the abandoned chapel, and then like the chapel of the Wanderer, which are kind of interesting. And there's a town here. I like towns. That puts it above Coral Chambers, but at the end of the day, it's still like the starting area. It's not really much here. Number 29, Far Fields. I don't know. There's too many green areas in this game. In Hollow Knight, there's just like Queen's Gardens and Green Path. But here, there's just too many, and I don't know. It also has like lava in it, and there's like air currents. I don't know. It's just I just don't mesh with the idea. I just don't like I can't really explain too well why I don't like far fields. I just don't. I just think it's really boring and annoying and like I don't know. I just don't really like it that much. But it's okay. It's not like awful. Number 28, Songclave. I like this area, but it's like one room. Oh, whoops. It's one room, so like I can't really like it that much. I like all the NPCs and quests you get here and how over the course of the game more and more people and like pilgrims come and inhabit it. I think that's a cool little detail. But it is just one room, so that's why it's only at number 28. Next up is the Cradle. Um Now I like the aesthetic of this area a ton, but it's it's really small and there's like it's just two boss fights and there's nothing else in it. Except for a map of the area, which doesn't really count as an item, I don't think. And what I think like some lore thing that didn't even it's not even like a collectible lore thing that you can get rosaries for. It's just like something you read. So yeah, I love the aesthetic. The bosses are fun, but the rest of the area, which is what I'm ranking, not the bosses in the area, are just kind of a nothing burger. Sinner's Road. Now I kind of like the theming of this area with like all the cages and muckroaches and stuff, but at the same time it's kind of annoying. You know, it's the first area to introduce the maggot water, which I hate. Everyone hates the maggot water. And there's some interesting quests here, and like I like there's the NPC that gives you silk eaters. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so like I like it, but not really that much. It's one of the areas that like I like ish kind of. They're like okay, that's they're not like none of the areas here are bad. Fleetopia. I like the aesthetic of this area with like the rocks and the clear water and then all the fleas. It's a very nice place, but also just kind of small and kind of just one long flat like place. Nothing much going on here, but still has a nice aesthetic. I can't talk. And the flea carnival is also fun. So Underworks comes in at number 24. It's kind of like I don't know, it's kind of boring but also interesting at the same time. Like I like the saws and the platforming, I guess, but the bugs it's just kind of all gray and smoky. I just can't really get too interested in the Underworks. But like it's still more entertaining than the other areas I've listed so far. 23, the Marrow. It's a cool area. We have the lava and the bones everywhere. So I think that's pretty cool. But the enemies are kind of boring. And it is just kind of rocks everywhere. Some lava at the bottom. Not too much going on here. It's only the second area, so that's fine. But yeah. Number 22, the Mist. I said I would rank every area that had the words coming up here. So even though this area is technically a mix between Biowater and Sinner's Road, after you clear the mist, it disappears and it's just like there. But I do like this area while it exists. The in this maze and all like the swinging spiky balls, or not balls, rings that are just swinging back and forth give like a spooky vibe. There's like the silk banshees and stuff that scream at you. There's traps everywhere. And once you get through, you get to go to the exhaust organ, which I'm counting as part of this area. And that's pretty cool. And you fight Phantom. That's pretty cool. Back door into the Citadel. So it's really interesting. But yeah, we're getting into the areas that I enjoy now. That I don't think are just like boring. Next up is the Blasted Steppes. Now I like the aesthetic of this area with all the worms and the sand and like the wind blowing. Kind of reminds me of Howling Peak, I think it was called in Hollow Knight. Howling Cliffs, whatever the edge was. Kingdom's Edge was another area, but like it's kind of nice, desolate, desert-y with like yeah, it's just that's it. Like is I kind of like how it's laid out with like a big room in the middle that you go around to the side rooms for. Has some cool bosses in it, some interesting NPCs. Like it's just an interesting area overall. But the worms can be kind of annoying, and yeah. Number 20, Whispering Vaults. Kind of a dull area, like color wise. It's all like dark and gray and stuff. But I do enjoy the mechanic of like hitting the boxes, I guess is what they are, to like open up shortcuts or do platforming stuff. I like that quite a bit, which is why it's up here. But other than that, there's not too much to it. 19, Lost Verdania. There is a problem with this area not having any benches in it and forcing you out to the outside to normal Verdania every time you die. And some of the enemies are really annoying, like the flying ones that shoot projectiles at you. Yeah, only those enemies. But overall, it's a cool area. It's yet another green area, but I'd like it a bit. And it's like cool lore wise and stuff too. 18, Red Memory. I really like the aesthetic of this area. You're like, it's mostly just platforming because like it's just like a dream sequence, but like it's all red and there's like the silk balls that you pogo off of, and then you also go to like a white palace ish part and then like a part of the hive. Great callbacks to the first game. It's just a really cool experience to go through, and sadly you can only go through it once, but I like it, and it gives you good lore too. I don't know. I just really like the aesthetic of this with how red it is and how you go back to areas that you know from Hollow Knight. It's just cool. 17, Cogwork Core. Uh, it's a cool area. It's all like inhabited by machines and like cogs, and it has some really interesting platforming to it, which is the main thing I like. The upper section where you do the whole platforming gauntlet before solving the weird puzzle with the music notes to get the architect's song. I really like that part. The lower part's okay, but the upper part is just some nice, good platforming. 16, Shellwood. Getting to the areas that I really like now. So Shellwood is yet another green area, but I do like this one more than all the other ones, because I like the plant life is just cooler. There's the stick bug enemies, the weird water skiers, the flies. As my favorite NPC, even though I don't even remember their name, the parasite thing that gives you the witch crest. Love that thing. The boss is really cool. Sister Splinter, Nyleth, great bosses. You can see my boss ranking video. Um, then yeah, it's just a nice area. It's fun to explore, and you bounce off like the flowers and stuff too. It's cool. But yeah, stop right here to say drop a like, subscribe, cause I don't know. I know this is incredibly low quality videos, cause I can't edit or nor do I want to learn how to. Number 15, White Ward. The atmosphere of this place is just great. It's white. We love the color white. I'm joking, guys. Please don't demonetize me. I'm not even monetized, so I don't know how you could demonetize me. But maybe this video will blow up or something. I doubt it will though. Anyways, it's really cool with like all the experiments going on, and like there's the Unraveled here, which isn't a good boss, but Silkheart, Shermer's little quest. Uh, it's a small area, so it's not like ranked any higher than this. But lore wise and like atmosphere wise, it's just amazing. And then like all those weird creepy guys with the big blades that just run at you near the end of the area. Those guys are pretty spooky. So I like the area a lot. Number 14, Weave Nest Atla. Now I like all of the weave nests. All of the weave nests are so cool. I just love the aesthetic of them. I love their atmospheres of like abandoned places, and especially Weave Nest Atla, where you have Eva at the bottom, or Ava, I forget what they're called. And we love Ava because she gives us extra tool slots. Um, and also has like the double Moss Mothers fight that give you the Weave Light, which is a great tool. And there's a few other secrets in it as well. So yeah, it's really cool, but it's also small, so I can't rank it too high. Worm ways. Now, normal worm ways I don't really like. They're just kind of boring. But in Act 3, after you've done the Lifeblood quest, when they're all infected by Lifeblood, man, I love it. Lifeblood was one of my favorite parts of Hollow Knight, and I'm just so happy to see it back in Silksong. Like, I love the lore of Lifeblood, how Lifeblood works. Like, I just love Lifeblood, and I love how it, like, infected all the creatures there, and even the corpse of Zango and stuff. It's just completely transforms the area, and which you would normally not really return to. But when you do, just like randomly, you find like it completely changed, and I think that's just so cool. But yeah, other than that, it's like really small and worms. Meh. The Abyss comes in at number 12. I also love the atmosphere of this area, and we know where lore wise it's just like perfect because it was there in Hallownest, it's here in Farloom, it's everywhere. There's no escaping it and all. All roads lead back to the Abyss, whatever you want to say. And then the boss here is great. Has some pretty interesting platforming. I love the enemy designs. They're all spooky and stuff. They're like leech things. It's just a great area overall. Sadly, there's nothing much you can get here except for like the super jump upgrade. But yeah. Number 11, Deep Docks. I didn't like think too much of this area when I first went through it, but the more I think about it, the better it is. Because I've come back to this area in my playthrough multiple times, and each time I could find something new. The first time was unlocking that door and finding the flint slate, which I did way too late in the game. And then in that area, you can use the harpoon to open another door and fight four brothers Cygnus and Grom. And then even after that, you come back later to use the diving bell. It's just you keep coming back and keep unlocking more and more and more of it. And I just think that's so cool. And also, lava and stuff. Yeah, lava's cool. Well, it does too much damage, but, it's still cool. All right, now we're coming up on the top 10. And I really love, like, mostly the top 15. But the top 10 are the ones I love a ton. Number 10, the Coral Tower. I just love the atmosphere of this place. It's so vibrant and so full of life. And like unlike things like Shellwood and other green areas full of life, it's all like blue, which isn't a color you see too much in the Hollow Knight games. Like you see it in Lifeblood, and that's kind of it. But this vibrant blue with all the sea life I just love it so much. Especially your first super jump into it, and you go up and you just are swathed with the blue and the fishes and the big words come up on the screen. It's just so cool. And I love all the coral enemies, and the fact that it's an enemy gauntlet and it's not like that long, that big of an area is what keeps it at number 10 instead of being higher. But the enemies are cool. I like them a lot. They're fun to fight, except for maybe that guy that spews out the yellow blobs. I don't know. But yeah, it's just a really enjoyable area. The great boss too. Gotta love Crust King Khan. Number 9, Wisp Thicket. Another area where I just love the atmosphere here. It's yet another green area, but it's combined with like fire. And the greenery is like reminds me of looks like bamboo kinda, and I just think that's so cool, and it's so hidden away, like you could easily never find it. And I will say though, I'm not gonna count the Father of a Flame as the boss of this area, because technically his arena is in Belheart, which I thought was just an odd thing. Because when I've heard people talk about this area, I've also heard them be like, "Oh, the boss of this area is Father of the Flame," and yes, he kind of is, but he's not technically in the area. Anyways, it has some really strange lore that I don't really understand, like why just bugs that worship fire or something, and then we have the weird wisps, the fire things. Like, what are they? How is fire living? Like, what on earth is going on here? And it's just so interesting. But the reason why it's not higher is yet again it's really small and there's not too many items here. So, yeah. Number 8, high halls. Now, it does still have like this sort of pseudo like theming and stuff, but I just love the water ramp in it and like how you keep going higher, and the enemies are pretty fun to fight with, like the, what are they, conductors? I don't know, the weird guys with the cog flies, and then the other dudes with the weird gold mask that fly. It's just a fun area to traverse, and it has a good amount of secrets and stuff too. And yeah, it does have what I've dubbed the Infinity Gauntlet, the probably like the hardest part of this game. I kid you not, I think I've spent more attempts on that gauntlet than on like any boss. Except for Miss Scarsinger Carmelita. That was tough. Anyways, at number 7, we have Belheart. I love this area. I love all the NPCs in it. I love all the bosses in it, those being Widow, and I don't really love Father of the Flame. He's kind of meh. But I love how you can get your own bell home and stuff. You get so many good items here. And the part I love the most is the bell tunnels above and below it. Those are just so fun to traverse. So like the very bell creatures and stuff, and they're all like, kind of reminds me of Deep Nest, but like a ton better because it's bells and it just looks so cool. All right, at number 6 we have the slab. I personally never actually got captured and brought to the slab because I'm really good at the game and just never got hit by the jailers and actually getting captured. Kind of wish I did though, because it's cool. But I like how you need the different keys to get around the slab. I love how I like the prison sequence, even though I never played it. It looks really fun. I'm started another save file and I'm planning to get captured as soon as possible. But then like I like the theming of it. It's just this big jail cell, like this big prison, all the jailers and stuff. I love the first Sinner boss. I think they're like my second or third favorite. Third, I think. You guys can watch my boss ranking video to see. And like, I'm saying like a lot, man. But it's just really fun to get through. Number 5, Memoriam. This area is just like a mesh of a lot of other areas, and I think that's cool. I especially like it in the rooms where you can like see the glass like in front of you, like you're behind the cracked glass. It's just like gives a cool aesthetic, and how every room is like different, and you see things that you hardly ever see, like the lightning things from Vault Nest, and like the coral guys. And the coral guys and the moss crawler dudes have been like mutated to be like bigger, doing experiments and stuff. And I think that's really interesting lore wise. And it's relatively small, but I still like it quite a lot. Coming in at number 4, Greymore. I love this area. I love the craws, despite lots of people hating them. I love the craws. I think they're such a cool little addition. Love the Crawfather. But that's like on one side, and the others have like the scissor dudes, which can be kind of annoying, but they're also just cool, like the mites and stuff. I like the aesthetic. It's all raining and things. Kind of reminds me of City of Tears, but like not a city. And there's that one like bar in the middle, and you there's just so many secrets in here, and at least there's so many other areas. Morwig's not my favorite boss, but like he's whatever. I kind of skipped him by moving the flea carrier into his arena. And then there's also the Reaper crest, which I use for a good chunk of the game before finding the Witch crest. And yeah, it's just a great area. All right, top 3 now. Number 3, Hunter's March. I love this area. And before I get into it, let me clarify. There is part of Hunter's March that is in Far Fields that you can only open from Hunter's March, that opens a door to the other half of it. I'm counting that other half as Hunter's March and not as Far Fields, because you don't really see any Far Fields enemies in it. Only Hunter's March. It looks just like Hunter's March, not like Far Fields at all. Well, I mean, they're already similar looking areas. And like, it's just the only reason why it's not classified as Hunter's March on the map is because Farfields breaks it directly in half, and it would be too confusing if you had two Hunter's Marches on your map. That would just be weird. So they just put it as part of Farfields. But in my head, the Scarsinger Carmelita area and like all that stuff around it is part of Hunter's March. Anyways, I love this area because all the enemies are so fun to fight. Maybe not like the little crawling ants and the little flying guys, like the big ants, and they're just so fun. I love all the enemies in this area. I love the aesthetic. It just feels so lived in, like this tribe of ants, like they live here. They have traps everywhere. Like they use bones as like armor and stuff, and you can like see them sitting around, not really fires, but like the weird things with the glowing flies in them. And it just really feels like you're in a place that's like you're in a hostile environment, but like the people do stuff, and like the ants carry off shards and like corpses and things on the ground. That's a great detail. And like I mean, I hate the savage beast fly, so I can't say the bosses are great. The scar guards aren't really a boss, but they're kind of like a boss. They're fun to deal with. Scarsinger Carmelita is my favorite boss of the game, and I just love the bone and ant aesthetic. It's just great. All right, coming in at number 2, Mount Fay. Probably has like one of the best aesthetics of the game. It's all cold. It's basically all platforming, but it's really good platforming. It's full of little secrets with Bright Vein and all that stuff in the middle. There's a Pinstress boss, which I don't like, but you can learn about that in my boss list video. Watch it, please. I know I've said it like 20 times, but And then at the top, you see the moth come down. That's just really cool. I guess it's a moth. You get a moth down cloak from it, so it's the weird bird moth thing. And that's just so cool when it comes down and it gives you the double jump. And yeah, it also has like weave nest-ish like mini areas in it, and I think that's so cool. Number 1 area is the Sands of Karak. I love this place. When I discovered it, I just had remembered that there was like harpoon points near the Pinstress things. I was just going up, and I did not expect to find a whole new area. This area is great. It's like a dried up coral forest that's been just like destroyed by time. It's no longer watery. It's no longer like lush. It's like all dry and sandy. And you have the really interesting platforming mechanics with the growing plants and stuff that makes for some great fun platforming. There's I like the Raging Conch Fly. There's the Coral Tower, which leads into another the dream area, but that's cool too. Watcher at the Edge is a great boss as well. Um, it's just so fun to go through. And Vault Nest is also a really cool area, mini area. In it, like, I love the purple and pink like lightning aesthetic. Volt Verm's kind of a boring boss, but like it's just perfect, man. I only wish it were bigger, but that's always my wish for like any area in any game, except for the coral chambers. Those need to be smaller. And yeah, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment what video you want me to do next. I'll probably do some sort of tool ranking or something. I don't know. You guys want me to do an enemy ranking of all like 200 something enemies? That would be wild. Anyways, drop a like, subscribe, comment, or don't.